So what moment exactly was it when you're like, this has to change? Was it the first toxic environment or the second? It's like that was like a real wake up call.
Almost deaf.
Yep.
So 6 weeks after leaving the school that I was part of, the beautiful journey I was part of, my body started to... Have you ever read the book The Body Keeps the Score? I've forgotten I can't pronounce the author's name. It's a very famous book, and I'm halfway through it, but my body kept the score. 6 weeks after leaving the school, I was 6 weeks. I remember having that. I had a great day, and I had a series of what I thought it was anxiety attacks. I put it down to anxiety attacks. My body recovering, my body going through all of this physiological change, stress, chronic stress, not acute stress, not good stress, because there's plenty of good stress. I put my body through good stress now to be able to handle the harder situations. But 6 weeks later, I was rushed into hospital. My doctor thought could have been a heart attack, whatever. He wanted to do scans because I was sweating. I was in a lot of pain. I needed to have cold showers to calm myself down. And I used to look at people with panic attacks or anxiety as weak. But man, it's real. It is so real. And my body had obviously got to a point where it couldn't handle it anymore, and it was letting me know. And they rushed me into hospital. They cleared the heart. Nothing wrong with the heart, so they sent me home. I had more scans. My friend was a doctor. He was a Manchester United fan, so we got along. He used to live in Scotland, go to Manchester United games all the time, so he became a good friend. And we said, let's get some emergency scans. I went in. I was going for the scans the Friday morning. This was the Thursday. I woke up. I didn't get out of bed till midday. The scans were at 11. I couldn't move. My partner, it was all dark in the room, so my partner couldn't see it. She turned everything on. She said, go and have a shower, refresh yourself, ready for the scans. I was pure orange. She turned the light on. I was pure orange. She said, you're jaundice. I didn't even know what that word was.
No,
basically, you're orange. Your skin is orange, and it happens quite a lot. It could happen in babies, and it can happen in humans. Adults, obviously, it was happening to me. But septic shock had set in. I rushed into hospital. I was 30 minutes away from dying, and that was the change. Because when the pain, change often occurs when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of making a change. So those toxic environments before, they were traumatic, absolutely, but it wasn't enough to make a change. I thought those hits, buying a car, having my child, building a new house, getting my dream job, eating lollies and shit all night, I thought that was going to help me. Look, I didn't turn to drugs or alcohol like some people do, but it's the same physiological response.
Yep.
It's still an addiction in a way. Gambling, they're all it's all if we was to scan the bodies of doing all those things, it's the same physiological response inside and the impacts of the brain. It's just different for me. So they won't look at that to me as people don't maybe look at my stuff as bad because it's you eating chocolate all night. How drastic? Well, actually, it's like I say, inside it's affecting the body big time. And so that was when that pain's there, you have to make a change.
Can you remember what you were feeling when you were orange and you were on the way to hospital? You don't remember?
I just felt ill.
Yeah.
And I needed and I just thought it will pass.
So how did they save you? Like, you were half an hour away from dying.
So I was I'll say dying. It's probably more coma.
Yeah, like very serious.
Very serious. My partner got the phone call. Now, I actually didn't... When I was in hospital, I was me being me, having a laugh with the nurses.
What? You were...
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was having a laugh with the nurses and the doctors. I remember I had a bag of lollies in the drawer, and the doctors, because I was taking certain medications for the anxiety. I was doing things because I was flaring up and anxious. I wasn't medications. I wasn't on meds. It was probably more. I don't know. I had something in there that they had to lock, and it was a standard procedure for all patients. If they had something that people would have to take, I can't remember. I was taking something at the time, but not a prescription med. I've never ever taken prescription meds. I was diagnosed. I was given antidepressants, but I never took them.
No,
and I never will. Even if I was to go into dark space again, I now feel like I know the route to come out of it, even though it would be really fucking hard. But I remember having a bag of lollies, and the doctor, I said, I've got a bag of lollies. Can I just get them whenever I feel? Because I look back and go, oh my God, he must have thought I was insane.
Well, do you reckon a nurse has ever experienced that? I don't think so.
But maybe they didn't. I don't know. Maybe they knew. Maybe they didn't know. I don't know. Do they have the knowledge that I with the cell and understanding the cells like I do now? I don't know. But I look back now and go, fuck, Andy, what on earth was that doctor
You're
thinking?
literally about to be in a coma.
But I didn't know.
No, you didn't know.
Because they didn't tell me. They told my partner.
Right.
So my worst experience at the hospital was I found out I was allergic to penicillin.
Which is?
So it's like an antibiotic drip. So that was to help with the sepsis.
Oh,
I think. And I felt really hot up here. I was like, and I looked like, still in the pre-emergency room before you go to any rooms for the beds for the night. I'm still in a bed, but glass. So people from the, not public, but people who are coming through from the public for their next stage of treatment, going through, I must have looked like a druggie or swear. I was scratching the living daylights out of myself. I've got images and I've got scabs everywhere all over my face, and I'm boiling up here. And I said to the doctor, "You gotta come out, I'm boiling something." Nothing's on. The heater wasn't on. The aircon wasn't on. Nothing. And they went out, and I'm like inside the room scratching it, and I come here to the glass. They run in, and they couldn't figure it out. Are you allergic to penicillin? I don't know. I'm 38 at the time. I don't know. And she said, "How do you not know if you're allergic to penicillin at 38?" I'm like, clearly never needed it.
Yeah.
Anyway, they changed that, and it all started to calm down after about half an hour. But honestly, for me, that was my worst experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Forget about everything else. I
didn't know. I say, I just thought I was ill, and they were going to fix me. So it was. I think that scenario was more traumatic for everybody else than it was, the sepsis, because I was in pain. My gallbladder was full of stones.
Really?
So that's where the sepsis, I think, had come from, because I was not eating. I don't think, because the surgeon had said, look, the damage that had happened to your gallbladder couldn't have come from the timeline of when you've been eating badly. And usually with gallbladder removal, it's either people who are on drugs or alcohol or eating badly for a very long time. Yeah. Obviously, putting the body through abuse. But none of them lined up for me, because I don't drink. I've never really been a guy who comes home and have a drink. I used to drink when I was younger. I can't imagine that affecting me 20 years later or 10 years later. So I do believe it was the chronic stress.
Wow.